This is Taco Williams, defensive back.
This is RJ Moreno, running back.
This is Noah Drum, wide receiver.
This is Mason Meyer, defensive end.
This is Johnny Knight, defensive back.
This is Dylan Cahill, slot receiver.
This is Gage Leggett, defensive back, and you're listening to Georgetown Eagle Football on SHN Sports.
Hey, good evening, Berger University. Can everybody hear me okay in the back? Yes, in the very back, thumbs up back there. Turn it up back there for the man that's close to the – I'm just kidding. You got me back there now? Awesome. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I know there's a lot of folks in here just eating, but this is our season wrap-up of the 2018 football season here on SHN Sports for the Eagle Nation Coaches Show. Let's give it up for a great season so far. We're very proud of our Eagles on an awesome season here in Georgetown, Texas. And without further ado, I know Coach has been patient. We appreciate Coach Dean. I've got a full-time job now, so it took me a while to get started here. Hey, and Joshua Harris joining tonight. Josh, good to have you here as well, man.
Man, I'm blessed to be here and thankful for the opportunity with, come on.
Let's give it up for Josh, who helped out a lot this year.
Thank you for the opportunity. Great season. It's been a lot of fun to follow this team this year.
Well, let's go ahead and welcome up head coach Jason Dean. Ladies and gentlemen, your Georgetown Eagle head football coach, Jason Dean.
Hey, man. How are you?
Good.
Hey, Coach. Well, as always, Coach, it's been another great year here in Georgetown, and it's a privilege for us to be able to do this again now for the fourth year here on SHN. Of course, last week a tough loss, 36-7 versus Shadow Creek in Bryan. This was for Georgetown, however, the first time reaching the third round since 2013. Let's give a round of applause for Georgetown doing great things this season. Hey, Nick Petter recovering a fumble in the end zone for that third score. Let's give it up for Petter. Great job, Nick Petter, back there. Coach, as we dig in, and we won't talk long because we kind of want to wrap up the season, and we're going to have a lot of fun here tonight. But, Coach, a tough game for Georgetown in the third round, but you got to give your hats off to Georgetown on another phenomenal season. Just a tough team versus Shadow Creek. Talk a little bit about that game, Coach, and some of the areas where Georgetown was struggling a bit.
Well, I'll tell you what we're going to do first. We're going to give the fumble recovery to who it needs to go to, and that's Braden Hargrove. He's sitting right there on the front.
Man, hey, whoever does the stats, I'm just saying thank you, Coach, because that's happened. Whoever does the stats next year, I'm not knocking any coaches, but Max Preps, or can you fix it, please?
Well, here's the deal. Defensive linemen didn't get a touchdown very often. When they get one, they need to get the credit for it.
That's right, and that's why I wanted to give it. So, yeah. Well, we appreciate that. So, and I'll do my research better next year, too.
That's all right.
Coach.
He's just sitting right here in the front.
I just love that he accepted it. He back there. He's like,
Petter
thanks,
was
man.
all about it, man.
It's the year of Petter. I mean, if something good's going to happen, it's going to happen to Petter.
Well, Coach, again, it's been a great season for Georgetown. But a tough opponent last week. Talk a little bit about the struggles, though, in some areas where Georgetown did have some success, Coach.
Sure. You know, we knew going into the game that we were playing some extremely talented athletes. Obviously, they came into the game with a 12-0 record. We talked about some last week. I mean, there's 6 Division I commits just on the defensive side of the football. You know, that's not including the running back. That's not including the right tackle on offense. So. Just a lot of good quality football players, and going into the game, and I still think this today, that I think we have a better team than what those kids have, but obviously they've got some really talented players,
Yes,
and for things to for us to have success, last Saturday we needed good things to happen to us, and obviously we didn't have a ton of those. And we also needed those guys to slip up a bunch, and they didn't do that either. And but it was just at the end of the game in the locker room when I'm talking to our guys, and I told them, now for the last 4 or 5 weeks that I dreaded that talk. That's one of the things that as a football coach you don't want to do. Is have that talk at the end of the year, and I wanted those guys to understand that whenever that talk comes, I want to be able to look at them in the face, and they know that they gave everything that they had. And last Saturday when we revisited that again in the locker room, I could look around the locker room, a lot of wet eyes in the room, but they all shook their head. They understood, that they had given everything they had, and man, what a great year we had. It's never fun when it comes to an end. but it does at some point, you know. And just extremely proud of our kids and our coaches, just doing something hadn't been done in Georgetown High School in a long time.
Well, Josh, your thoughts on the final game? Josh was with us a lot during the season, of course, there with the team too on some things. So talk a little bit about your involvement with the team for the folks that may not know Josh, and then your thoughts there on that postseason run.
Yeah. So
and questions for Coach too.
Yeah, just been blessed to be a part of the SHN family, and then also be the lead sponsor for the Georgetown Eagle football team this year with Oak Ridge Ministries and the work that we're doing in the community. And that's why we love partnering with Rob and the community work that he does. And then just been friends with this man right here, this coach, one of the best coaches I know. And for years now, I've had the opportunity to pray with him on Friday mornings and then also come and speak to the team at least once during the season each year for the last 6 years. And, you know, I was teasing Coach a little bit. The last 6 years that I've been able to come, y'all have gotten the victory. So, you know, I like to get y'all fired up and grateful for that time that I have with y'all on Friday mornings. And
I told Josh we just need to make him the full-time speaker.
So, but what a great team. And Coach, you've just done a great job. And I unfortunately wanted to be at that last game, but I got an opportunity to take my boys to Dallas to watch the Longhorns play in the Big 12 championship. But I listened to it in one ear and was in the stadium there at Cowboy Stadium watching the game. And, you know, here's the reality. Round 3 of the playoffs is nothing to be upset about. I mean, that's awesome, and it's been an awesome season. And I watched you guys and this team grow every game this year and get better and better. And I'm just super proud of you. My boys, my sons are super proud of you and look up to you guys. And so, Coach, just great job with this football team, and congratulations to all of y'all. Y'all keep your head up high. It was a great season.
You know, it really was. And you know, again, our kids really kind of midway through the season kind of found their identity, you know, a little bit. And there's nothing worse. Well, there's lots of things worse, I guess. But as a coach, it is not good when you get to the center, you know, middle end part of your season and you don't feel like you're playing good football. You know, matter of fact, you even think at times you're playing worse, you know, than you played earlier. And man, how do I get this corrected? How do I turn the corner and get things fixed and get kids back on the right track and all that kind of stuff? And man, I tell you what, our guys continued even through really after the Stephenville game, really through even some really difficult losses right in the middle of our season. Our team continued to get better, and I really felt like we got better all the way up until the last game that we played. And as a coach, man, you can't ask for more than that. You know, that's when things are really, the kids are responding, they're listening to you, they're taking coaching well. Obviously, you got to have a little bit of luck in that. The injury bug got to stay away and all that kind of deal. But you know, it's just as a coach, couldn't be more proud of our guys.
Yeah.
Well, Coach, we kind of go back and we recap some of the season here. Georgetown finishes the season 9-4. Let's give them a round of applause on that 9-4 and third place in district. As we quickly run through the schedule, Georgetown opened up on that 3-game winning streak, defeating Wiley 31-7, Waco 17-7, South San Antonio 45-25, and then ran into some trouble with teams that, Coach, we talked about it all season, very respectful teams and teams that were highly ranked, and Georgetown giving a fight. Outside of the Stephenville game, which was a 48-8 loss, rebounding, things looking better versus Hutto, and that 38-14 loss. And then at Cedar Park, another very close game this season, 27-24. And then Georgetown, man, went on a blitz at the end of the season, and just with all cylinders firing for the Eagles, finished out the season strong, defeating Pflugerville 28-17. Manor, which was touted to be a tough matchup, Manor the heavily favored in that game. Georgetown said, we're not going to put up with that, and we're going to do it to you on your own field, defeating Manor 28-17 or 28-14, Rouse 34-14, and then finishing off the regular season versus Connolly 34-15. And Coach, that game, from my standpoint, of course, I wasn't able to broadcast those last 4 games, but just being and listening and seeing, especially with that Connolly game, there was a lot of resilience by the team, you know, going in at halftime with kind of some things struggling and then turning around in that game. Kind of talk about your thoughts briefly, Coach, on, you mentioned a little bit, but how Georgetown rebounded as the season went on and then showed some resilience there at the end versus Connolly in the regular season.
Yeah, you know, they did. We talked about, you know, suffering through those 3 losses together, but I tell you, Rob, and again, I don't think every place is like this. You guys know this is my only place to be a head coach. I've only coached at one other school before here. But a lot of that's our parents, you know, and our booster club and people that you rely on outside of. I talk to our kids all the time about our four walls, you know, the walls that in-house our football team. But a lot of things can be said at home, you know, and a lot of things can be said in your community. A lot of things can be said in the school. And if you're not careful, our players start believing that. And, you know, so, you know, give a lot of credit to our parents and our booster club, not bailing ship, you know, when you go 0-3 there for a little bit and you know, sticking with our team. And then, of course, our guys responding, you know, being able to bounce back and you know, finish strong.
Absolutely. Hey, all the football guys in here, can you give a super loud cheer for all the parents this year? Give them a loud one. Come on, guys. Coach, I just like keeping them loud is what it is.
Yeah, you bet.
Well, we move in.
It's a little bit quieter tonight. Kay Pledge is not here.
That's right.
Without Kay here yelling.
Well, as we continue to look down and we move into the postseason, that by-district versus Seguin, and you talk about another very quality team. Seguin turned their season around. Georgetown with a impressive win versus Seguin, 21-6. You had to be proud with that one to start things in postseason, Coach.
You do. You know, this year is the first year that the UIL in Class 5A has made the decision to let the higher seed team be the home team and, you know, have home team advantage. That's a big deal, you know, and us being able to go to Seguin, play a quality team out of that district. You know, I think they ended up being dual district champions out of that group. Our crowd showed up huge for us that night, but you know, having to go to Seguin and play on their field, it was a big deal, and you know, our guys responded well to that.
And, Coach, we talk about then the area round versus New Caney, 35-32. Another great victory there. I mean, you know how it is, Coach. Of course, doing this for so long, as you continue in the playoffs, it only gets tougher. You start out and you get all the way to 16. Not a bad postseason run. No,
it was excellent. You know, like I said, just really proud of our coaching staff, working so hard, and our players. You know, just hanging in there and being coachable, and obviously working their tails off to get where they're at.
Coach, I've got some stats on some players, but I don't want to single out any player by not mentioning some. But I do want to say that on the end, you changed up things this season with Jackson Siosin at quarterback, and not just Jackson, but the quarterback position. We didn't see Coop run a lot last year. It started working versus Hutto. Talk about that change and how effective it was, because Jackson at that quarterback spot with the powerful offensive line, that allowed him to get almost 600 yards on the rushing. And if my stats are wrong, let me know. I'm showing 14 rushing touchdowns.
Yeah, you know, I don't know for sure where our rushing touchdowns were. Jackson would know that better than I would, but I tell you what I do know is when we did our district meeting, you know, Jackson was the fourth leading rusher in the district. You know, not the fourth leading rusher from our team. He's the fourth leading rusher in the district. You know, that's pretty impressive from a group that really we're not trying to run the quarterback a ton. You know, we're running him when we have to, critical third downs, you know, stuff like that. So. Again, all three of our running backs with Xavier and Javante and RJ just did a tremendous job carrying the football for us. And then you mentioned all that, you know, starts behind an offensive line. And our offensive line kind of bounced around a little bit. We're trying to find the right mix and moving players around. You know, Zane Hall started the year out at center, ended up moving to tackle. Alex moves to center, does a great job there. So, I mean, we just had a lot of different things that we ended up. Again, it's just finding the right mix and finding the right chemistry. All right, what's the best fit for this team? I tell you, Coach, the biggest mistake you can make from a team standpoint is saying, well, this worked well last year, you know, so this is what we're going to do again, you know, and that's all fine and good if you got the exact same players back. But in high school football, that's not going to happen, you know. So you got to be willing to move things around and, you know, find what's best fit for this group of kids, and you know, turn them loose and let them go.
Coach, on the defensive side, Georgetown impressive this season. Talked about Hargrove getting that fumble recovery in the last game in the end zone to put 7 there on the board. How impressed were you with the defense this year? In the Seguin game, they came out huge, and that team didn't even score a touchdown, which was a team – they hadn't done that all season. Georgetown's defense put a stop on them.
Well, you know, and I don't mean this bad. you guys that know me good enough know that I wouldn't talk bad about some, and I'm not talking bad at all, but Cedar Park's had the Black Rain defense for years.
What we call it here, the Blue Storm. Let's give it up for the Blue Storm. I didn't mean to cut you off, but that's what we call it.
Well, our kids and staff led the district in defense, this year, and again, man, those guys. Again, somebody that's watched our football team for the last several years, we did something different defensively, this year than what we've done in the past, and just really thought it fit this group of kids better, and put together our own version of the 3-3 stack, and man, our kids responded well to that and played well all year long in it, and man, we played great defense.
Yes.
Coach, final question for me before I'll have Josh ask you a few questions. Every year the seniors, it's got to be a special group. You as a head coach and your staff and even you, what goes through your mind and what do you say to your outgoing seniors, Coach?
Well, we've I did that some on Saturday, and then I got to do it again on Tuesday. Yesterday it was my final meeting with those guys. I'll see them again all at the banquet. But this morning, Wednesday morning, was the first year in the last 4 years that I haven't seen that group of seniors, and a lot of those kids are here tonight. That group of seniors. Every day for the last 4 years. If school's in session in the summertime even, 365 days a year, at least 20 of them. I've looked at those kids every single day for the last 4 years. And so not only is there an empty hole for them, but, man, there's an empty hole for me, and our coaching staff too, because, man, we've relied on those guys, a ton over the last several years. So, these are the two main things I tell them is number one, we love them. Man, they've given so much to our team and so much dedication to our team. And it's not because of that, but it's just that's the atmosphere that surrounds it, and we get to know them so well that we love them. And the second thing is I want all of our guys to know that they have always got a friend at our field house. I want to know when they get married. I want to know when they have their first child. I want to hear about them graduating from college. All those milestones that we think about, that were important to us. I want to hear those things, and I want those guys to text me, and I want them to come back and see me at Christmas, and all those kind of things. Here in the next couple of weeks, we'll have a kind of a little reunion maybe, and the last couple of years we've done it here at Burger U. But all of our college kids, everybody that played football at Georgetown High School that's back in town, we put something out on Twitter and kind of gather those guys up. But last year we had 12 or 15 of those guys show back up, and we set at a big table up there and just got to listen to them all, talk about how college is going or how the workforce is going or whatever. And just enjoy hearing about their life after football, and for some of them they're still playing college football maybe,
sir.
But I want to hear about it, and I just want those guys to know that they've always got a friend there at our field house, that somebody's interested in what's going on with their life.
Coach, I think that's important. Always investing in the next generation and just taking care of the kids. That's what it's all about. It's what it's always been about at Georgetown. Even when I went to school here, still talking to a lot of my teachers and I've lost some teachers over the years that have passed on, and you become it's a family, and that's what it is here in Georgetown, and something that means a lot. Josh?
Yeah, so I know that that's true because the last time I got to speak there at the school this year, as I was walking out, I remember you saying that very thing to these kids about players that come back, and you want to know how they're doing and if they're doing well, and you love the ones that are out there winning and working hard and doing well, and then it breaks your heart when you hear about guys that are struggling, but you want to know those things too, and you want to be there for them and help them. And so, Coach, I absolutely believe that that's not just off the cuff. That's your heart, because I heard you say that to these players as I was walking out of the room that Friday morning. And so, I think the question that I have, what it is that's on my heart is this, you wrap this season up. What does the off season look like for the team that's going to be coming back, and how does the rest of this year play out? And you may talk about that a little bit, Rob, about what next season, but not to get ahead. But what does the off season look like for these players and the summertime coming and those kind of things? What do you expect for these players to be the best that they can be coming back into next year?
Sure, we're able to play long enough that we're kind of in a crunch, right now up until Christmas, and so you do things just a little bit differently if you're able to play after Thanksgiving, like this group was. But really we take about a week to turn in equipment and all that kind of stuff, and then a couple years ago we started doing player evaluations to where all of our guys that are juniors and below, our coaching staff meets with those guys individually and kind of goes over our championship plan for each individual kid. You know, how does this kid, how is he going to continue to develop and improve to reach his goals, you know, of what he wants to do athletically. And so we talk about that, man. We talk about, you know, his height and weight and his bench press and his squat and his 40 time and, you know, all that kind of stuff. And we're kind of able to let him know, okay, these are the things that you're doing a great job of that we love. These are the things that you're going to have to improve in. And then some of our guys need a little bit of encouragement of these things you're not doing very good at all. That's you know, we got to do a much better job of these if you want to, you know, improve like you're saying that you want to. So, you know, that happens next. We'll spend next week really doing all of our maxes, kind of getting a base in the weight room and on our 40 times and all that kind of stuff. And man, when we come back on January the 8th, it'll be full steam ahead. You know, 2019. Developing that team. And I talk to these guys all the time when I talk to them this year think about all that work that we started way back in January, you know, and so that'll be the same, you know, battle cry for this next group, you know, 2019 kids. Think about all that work that we started back in January, you know, and it's a combination of, you know, 8.5 months of work, you know, before we kick off again against Abilene Wiley. So, man, it'll be here before you know it.
That's awesome. What an awesome plan.
Well, Coach, I don't want to, you know, ask a question that would be kind of – because I know you well enough, Coach, that I'm not going to ask you to sum up the season in one word. Mm-hmm. But I will ask you, Coach, sum up this season in as many words as you'd like.
Well,
because you can't put it into one word with this group.
Well, if I had to put it in one word, I would say special.
Special.
You know, just because again we faced a lot of adversity. You got the old cliche about, you know, adversity makes you stronger. I believe that.
Me too.
You know, this group's just a special group. You know, throughout your coaching career, you look back at teams. I had teams at Abilene when I was a part of it there. I've had several teams here in Georgetown. But just some teams are special, you know, and got a special place in your heart, and that's this group of kids.
Yeah, that's right.
Josh,
two
words
for me as I watch, like I said, this team get better and better. Even with the losses, is don't quit. They never quit. Even out there watching play, they didn't quit, and they encouraged each other, and you could tell this team really loves each other, and they support each other, and that's so. Don't quit would be 2 words from me because they didn't quit at all this year.
You know, I don't know if you guys had a chance to see it this week, but our all-district selection came out this week, and we've got 24 kids that were selected to be on the all-district team this week, all the way from, you know, having the defensive MVP with Mason Meyer, having the defensive newcomer of the year and Taylor Beal, you know, just all of that stuff. You know, 24 different kids. Whether it was a superlative award, which those two were, to first team offense and defense, second team offense and defense, honorable mention, offense and defense. And then we also had six kids that were selected to the Texas High School Coaches Association academic all-state team, which is a huge honor. You know, I mean, think about everything that we asked these guys to do and all the hours that we asked them to put in for football. Mm-hmm. You know, they're still got to do a great job in the classroom. And, you know, 6 of our guys were honored this week being on the Texas High School Coaches Association all-state academic team, which is really impressive. So just like I said, you know, just a special group of kids that bought into what we're, you know, coaching and preaching every day and you know, had great success.
Yes.
Well, you talk about this season, it's been the team, Coach.
Yeah.
When does the motto for next year start? Where does that come from?
You know,
that's my final question.
I'll read a good book or something, you know, over Christmas or spring break or something. I'll steal one out of a book, you know, somewhere.
I think if you hang out and talk to Josh for a few hours, he'll feed about 20 or 30 things you may be able to pull from.
Yeah, we'll figure something out.
That's right.
Yeah.
Well, Coach, again, we appreciate the accessibility this season. Looking forward to the banquet coming up, and again, it's been just a true honor and privilege to see these men, especially the seniors now, but these young men grow up, and now many of them moving on to the next step in their life. So personally, from me and from all of us at SHN, for the seniors especially, I want to tell you guys congratulations. Hold your heads high. I always say it because it's true, and you got to believe it. The best is yet to come.
That's right.
It's up to you, and keep listening to your parents because they're going to tell you what to do right.
That's right. Yeah.
Coach, we appreciate you, man.
Hey, sure appreciate you guys.
Let's give it up for Coach and as well as the Georgetown Eagles. Thank you, Coach.
Thanks a lot. Yeah, appreciate y'all.
Yeah.
Well, we will move in. And Coach, appreciate you again this season. And
One thing.
go ahead, Coach.
One thing before we go, just like to thank the folks at Burger U.
Absolutely.
Man, for taking such good care of us. You know, they're always opening it up.
They have.
Do a great job taking care of us.
Thank you, Burger U.
Appreciate them.
Appreciate you. Thank you, Coach.
Great family here at Burger U.
And Josh, when Matt and I first started, it was something that we realized right out of the gate that it takes a special group of people in the community, special educators, a special school system. And I got to tell you, Dr. Brent has been instrumental in what he does, and Coach York with what he does to allow us to come in and do what we do. So we appreciate Georgetown and all the educators and all the fine work that they do. Well, friends, all season we've had guests come up here, students come up here and talk. Tonight it is the final chapter.
That's right.
In the Trivia Challenge. Can we get the offense and the defense to come on up? Let's go, guys. As we will settle
close,
the
too.
score tonight.
Yeah, it's close. I'll tell you what.
Bill's over here.
Was it the
already throwing
defense or the
around
offense that was
Fielson.
leading pretty big all season long? And then
Alex, what's the score? I've got it. What is it?
21-19, I think.
It's 22-19. The offense is leading.
Yeah, so this is
22-19.
You guys can catch up tonight and make this happen. I believe in you.
So tonight, guys,
He's already claiming that trophy. Yeah.
It is Christmas Challenge, Christmas Trivia Challenge. Josh, I hate I'm going to have to steal your headset.
Yeah.
And Jackson, if we'll go over here, guys. Hey, and guys, I'm going to do something. We'll make it quick, but I want you to say your name, your class, your position, and say one word about how you would describe this season. And if someone else says it, you can say it, but we'll start over here on the defense.
Cohen Ward, 2019, cornerback. If I were to describe this year, it'd be pretty cool.
Johnny Knight, 2019, safety, and my one word's family.
Family, all right.
Nicholas Petter, 2019, DB, and season was awesome.
Yeah, it was better.
I was doing it. See, I said one word, and they're saying three, but we will take it.
Tugga Williams, 2020, defensive back. Love.
Feeling the love.
Tyler Knowles, defensive tackle, 2019, and sometimes a little too close.
Braden Hargrove, defensive end, 2020. Fantastic.
Awesome. Hey, and Braden, sorry about that stat while ago.
No, he's not. Taylor Beal, middle linebacker, class of 2020. Amazing.
Amazing. Wow. Better than Washington. Ethan Hill, 2019, fullback, and I would say family.
Go ahead on Jackson's.
Lincoln Johnson, 2019, lineman. It was fun.
Zane Haas, 2019, offensive line, brotherhood.
Yeah, okay.
Jacob Ramos, 2020, quarterback, special.
Alex Steele, 2020, O-line, Petter.
Jackson Houston, quarterback, senior, proud.
All right. Let's give it up for these guys one more time as we start the Trivia Challenge. Trivia Challenge starting. Again, the offense is leading 22-19.
Not for long. That's right, we are.
And tonight, when this is over, I'm actually taking the trophy and I'm going to put who wins here. So, and then it's coming back to the locker room. So
all I'm going to say is that defense won last year.
So
we
here
still
we
have
go.
the trophy.
Here we go, guys. Offense. First question. You're going to have 8 seconds. We will start with the defense to my right. First question: which of these companies was the first to use Santa Claus in an advertisement? Which of these companies the first to use Santa Claus in an advertisement? This is Christmas, by the way. This is Christmas holidays trivia. Was it A, Pepsi, B, Coca-Cola, C, 7-Up, or D, Fanta? How many people drink Fanta? Anybody in the house? We got a couple of Fantas in here. I do it too.
5, 6, 7. Yeah, I think it's Pepsi. 8. Oh, you got us.
All right. We'll start with the defense.
Coca-Cola.
Offense.
Coca-Cola.
It is Coca-Cola. That was the easy one. 23-20. 23-20. Nobody extending there. Coca-Cola. 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 Number 2. And by the way, tonight, guys, we have 8 questions. 7 left. Which president was, listen up, guys, which president was the first to decorate the White House Christmas tree? Which president the first to decorate the White House Christmas tree? It'll go back to the offense here. Was it A, Franklin Pierce, B, Benjamin Franklin, C, I put Georgetown, Washington, George Washington, or D, Abraham Lincoln? Again, Franklin Pierce, Ben Franklin, George Washington, or D, Abraham Lincoln? Franklin Pierce, Benjamin Franklin, George Washington, Abraham Lincoln. Offense, you got 5 seconds. 4.
3, 4, 5.
All right, offense. Go ahead, offense. You got 2 seconds after I say him. Franklin Pierce, Benjamin Franklin, George Washington, or Abraham Lincoln?
A.
A, Franklin Pierce.
Abraham Lincoln.
It was Franklin Pierce.
That's right, it was.
24-20. Now, hold on. It's 24-20. Defense, you got to start hitting them here. Third question. This will go back to you, to the defense. Which country did the gingerbread house come from? Which country did the gingerbread house come from? Where did it start? Austria, Switzerland, Germany, or the United States? Again, Austria, Switzerland, Germany, or the United States?
4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Defense?
Austria.
Offense?
We're going to need an answer.
What did you say?
Austria.
And what did you say?
Austria.
I'm going to tell you this. You're both wrong. I'll go ahead and let you try one more time. You're both wrong. Switzerland, Germany, or the United States?
Germany.
Okay.
Switzerland.
It was Germany. Oh! All right. 24-21. Defense. Here we go. They're getting it back. Question number 4. Back to the offense. What kind of Christmas does Elvis Presley sing about? Was it a white, red, blue, or snowy Christmas? Again, white, red, blue, or snowy? Offense. White, red, blue, or snowy? What did Elvis sing about? How many Elvis fans in the house? There we go. That's right. Thank you very much. 5 seconds. 4.
We're going to need an
3,
answer, Siosin.
2.
Siosin, we're going to need an answer.
1.
Blue.
Blue.
It's blue.
It is blue. You're both right. 24-21. Defense. We're down to the last 4 questions. You got to make a run. 24-21 offense. Who answered the last one? Offense. We'll go back to the defense. Question number 5. In what year was A Christmas Carol by Charles Dickens published? What year was A Christmas Carol?
Book?
Yes. What year was A Christmas Carol published by Charles Dickens? Was it A, 1765, B, 1843, C, 1860, or D, 1906? This is probably just going to be a guess one.
What are these again?
1765, 1843, 1860, or 1906?
I got it.
See, Jackson's over here. He thinks that I'm doing something with the way I'm saying it, which is kind of cool. He's trying to read, but, you know, but I'm telling you, I'm not giving anything away with the way I'm saying it. Is it 1765, 1843, 1860, or 1906? We'll go to the defense.
We're going 1843.
1843? It was 1843. How did you guys know that? I didn't say anything special. 24-21, offense still leading defense. Oh, defense, you got to get all 3 of these. All right? You got to get all of them.
We call that dorming.
I like it.
They're Dorby.
Here we go. Hey, to make this interesting, should I say the answers, or should I just I'll just say okay and I'll mark them and then we'll come back and I'll tell you. Should we do it that way?
I like that.
That way, because otherwise, you know what I'm saying. We want it to be exciting. So I'm not going to tell you this time what you guess. I'm just going to mark it. We'll come back to it. Josh, I'll need your help to keep up with it. What is the name of the Grinch's dog in the movie How the Grinch Stole Christmas? Is it Pete, Sam, Ruth, or Max?
Max.
Max.
Really? That's a question.
D. Max.
Max.
Hey, they're copying.
What is it, love?
I love dogs. They both said Max.
Definitely better.
They both said Max. Question number 7. I'll come back to it. Which reindeer is Rudolph's dad? Which reindeer Rudolph? Which reindeer is his dad? Back to the offense. Back to the defense.
Rodolfo.
Is it Dancer, Dixon, Donner, or Blitzen? Which is Rudolph's dad? Dancer, Dixon, Donner, or Blitzen? Dancer, Dixon, Donner, or Blitzen? Someone said Santa. Defense.
Donner.
Donner is what the defense says. Offense.
Donner.
Man, you guys.
It's a Donner. It's a Donner.
All right. And final question. Which Christmas movie has been played more than any other? Was it A, A Christmas Story, B, Home Alone, Frosty the Snowman, or It's a Wonderful Life? Christmas Story, Home Alone.
Christmas Story.
Frosty the Snowman, or It's a Wonderful Life? Offense?
Offense picks A Christmas Story. A.
Okay, defense.
A Wonderful Life.
All right. The Grinch's dog, the dog named Max, you both got it.
Yeah, that's a win.
25-22. Rudolph's dad was Donner. You got it.
Dub.
26-23.
We got the last one right.
And defense got the last one right. It was It's a Wonderful Life. So your final this year in the all-important trivia challenge, it will go to the offense. Last year, I think it was the defense. So all time is now tied 1-1. Let's give them a round of applause. Hold it up, guys. Hey, and guys, before y'all go, we need to all get a picture here. Hold on one sec. Hey, guys, come back up here real quick, guys. Come back up here real quick, guys. We're going to get a quick picture before y'all go.
Hey, front row.
All right, guys, ready? 1. Oh, hold on. I got to turn it this way because some of y'all are out of here. 1, 2, 3.
Merry Christmas.
All right. Let's give it up, guys, for your Georgetown Eagles. Is there a representative from the Booster Club that would like to speak tonight? If not, anybody?
Oh, boy.
Any representatives from the Booster Club?
Don't say anyone.
Alex's dad, Pete, is out tonight, so. Yeah. Hey, here we go. Miss still making her way. There we go. Well, you know, he's out of town, so you got to step in. Let's give it up for Mrs. Pete Dill. Of course, Pete, the president of the Booster Club, just want to say thank you for allowing your husband to do what he does with the Booster Club. Your final thoughts on the season and just overall how the Booster Club has been this season. I know you'll speak great for Pete.
Oh, great. Thank you. First of all, congratulations to the offense on winning the trophy. Woo!
Yep.
I think it has been an incredible season. I'm so impressed with how our community and our parents came together and just really supported our team and during the good times and some rough times during the season. And we just really, really appreciate, on behalf of Pete and the whole Booster Club, how much parents have supported bringing in tacos, making noisemakers, fat heads, showing up at things like this. So we really think we have an amazing community, and we're looking forward to one more season.
And you know that the Booster Club, it goes all season. It doesn't just stop when football stops. So
Yes.
talk a little bit about that.
So we are in the midst of starting to plan our banquet. So our Georgetown football banquet will be on January 27th from 5 to 7:30, right there at the community center in San Gabriel Park. And we are already starting planning Meet the Eagles for next year. So we're looking
Awesome.
forward to a great summer, getting plans and going. And so,
Well,
we appreciate all your help and your support of our program. Thank you.
Absolutely. We appreciate it. Appreciate Miss Osen, who also sponsored a lot of what we did. Thank you, Brenda, for your help this year, as well as all of our sponsors at Oak Ridge and many others. Let's give it up one more time for Burger University. We appreciate you guys.
Oh, one more thing. We forgot. I almost forgot. We have a golf tournament on May 5th. Scott Johnson is already in the busy planning stages of that. So come on out and hit some golf balls and support Georgetown Eagle football.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Well, one last final time this season, let's give a very loud, and the loudest you have ever given. So get ready to hold your ears, some of you. Let's give the loudest Eagle Fight Never Dies Georgetown has ever heard, right here out of Burger U. Haas will say it the loudest, too. On the count of 3, Eagle Fight Never Dies. One last time. 1, 2, 3.
Eagle Fight Never Dies!
Good night, Georgetown. Thank you.